Hello everyone, welcome to another week in our beautiful sunny garden. Now there is a little bit of noise from the motorway, I do apologise for that, but there's a lockdown on and there's no traffic about. Now we're going to put some sweet peas in first on the frame that we put up last week. I'm putting 5 on each side and then 1 on each end just to fill the ends up. They're just sweet peas. They're of mixed colours, they're not all one colour, and they're called beeline, which hopefully will attract the bees and so we'll have nice flowers and loads of bees in the garden. We'll get these in. They're really ready for doing. Let's get them in. Just lean them towards that bit of mesh and then loosen around them and then push that up. When you got them in, ridge the soil against them, the same as what you do for your garden peas, and that will get away, and with you watering them, that'll go down anyway. Have another one in then. There we go. Again, very well rooted. Nice loose bottom, and lean it in, and then loosen round. I don't know if you can hear the pigeons calling, but I'm going to put a net on them to keep them off. There you go. One more and then. Not quite so strong this one, but it soon pick up. Nice loose bottom. There you go. Loosen around. This will also help let the water in when we water them. There's a weed seed there, I'm trying to chop it, that's it. Now I'll put the other 3 or 4 in and then I'll come back to you when I'm ready for watering. Now that's the sweet peas planted to go up and over this arch. I've just given them a little bit of water just to settle them in, but tomorrow morning or late this evening when the sun goes down, I'll give them another watering and then water every morning for the next few days until they start growing, and then I shall ease it off. The centre, as you can see, I still haven't been able to get the bark yet for the past, just can't get out. I will probably just pop some marigolds in there just to make it smile a little bit. Now I've been busy over 2 days now digging the trenches for the potatoes. We'll go up to the shed and we'll fetch the potatoes down and some bloodfish and bone feed to put in there, and we'll get some of these taters put in. We're going to put in the Red Duke of York, which is a nice early potato, and it's got that red skin which is nice to see, but I also believe that the red potatoes don't get attacked by the slugs as much. Now to feed them, I put about half a bottle, these are little jam jars, so it's half a jam jar of fish blood and bone. This year, because of the amount of rain we've had, and this garden has been flooded too many times to worry about, the potassium will be probably washed out of the soil. So I've mixed a little bit of potassium in with the fish blood and bone, and we'll scatter that down the rows. The rows are about 6 inches deep for all my potatoes. I put them all in around the 6-inch mark. I don't go shallower than that. They're all 6 inch, maybe a little bit more. And then we'll scatter this in, quickly rake it, space the potatoes out, and then try and backfill. It doesn't need a lot. I'm not putting a lot of the fish blood and bone in because this soil has been very well manured early on in the spring, very early spring. This was well manured, so we shouldn't really need too much feed. These are the seed potatoes we're going to use. As you can see, they've been well graded. Look at that. But we'll plant them anyway. Now, early potatoes, I don't like to put them in with more than 3 eyes on. That's only got 1, but it's got some more coming there, so I'll just rub those out. So there's only 3. The thing is, if you have too many eyes or growing tips on the seed potato, you'll get a lot of small potatoes. So if we restrict the first earlies and the second earlies to 3, we'll get a better crop of larger potatoes. The difference between the first early, second early and late potatoes is that they've been bred to grow quicker. There's no special potato, it's been bred to finish early, so that's what we call the early potato. There are some that have been bred that will actually come quicker than these, but then again, the more you breed them, they're breeding out that nice new potato taste. We put them in earlies and second earlies. The official is 14 inch for first earlies and 15 inch for the second earlies, but I put all mine in at 15 inch. Hence I have a little stick, and that is 15 inch. Put it so that any of the eyes, any of the sprouts are facing upwards, and that'll give you a good start. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 there. Look, so we take that one out, and that one, another one there, another one there, so we get some nice potatoes off it, and then we just pop that in there. I'll finish the row now. I'll mix the bigger potatoes in with the normal sized potatoes. There's no good seeing to be any difference, because once you've rubbed the sprouts off, they should all be the same. Now that's 3 rows in. That'll be plenty of first earlies for us, but they're very good potatoes. Now I'm going to backfill using this old drawer fork. It's about the only time of year it comes out of the shed, but it makes such a good job, so we use this. When you're setting your first earlies, you only really need 17 inch between the rows. Second earlies, 27 inch. And then your main crop, 30 inch. But I tend to give mine plenty of room so we can walk up and down for harvesting, etc. Now the soil has dried out a little bit, so I'm going to have to really rake it down and break it as I go. It's not too bad. Plenty of muck in it. Try and break it up a little. Just chomp it down a little bit, not too much. That bit can't go there, can it? Right, that's got us started. Now, with us only putting them in 6 inches deep, we just need to level the top of the soil to the old level for the first and second earlies. Then the main crop we have to ridge up. So it doesn't matter if I leave a little bit of soil behind. As this drops a little while it settles, then I'll just rake that in. Now I'll cover these 3 rows and then I'll come back to you. Now that's 3 rows of the Red Duke of York early potatoes in. Now we're going to start on the second earlies, but Diane's going to come and give me a hand so we can get them in today. Now just before you go and leave us till tomorrow, I just thought I'd show you what we're going to put in. They're Desiree, their main crop. That's Kestrel, second earlies. They're the ones that Diane and I will pop in now. And these are what Ian sent us. So we call those Ian's pots or Ian's potatoes from Scotland. Thanks a lot, mate. We'll see what we can do with them for you. Hello everyone, welcome back to our garden. It's a lovely sunny day. We're up in the top greenhouse at the moment. I thought we'd just show you how congested I am in here and how nice the flowers have looked. The sunshine we've had over the last week has really brought all the geraniums and fuchsias on, so we thought we'd share it with you. They look absolutely stunning, don't they? Just hope we can keep them flowering for the rest of the summer. If the weather stays with us, we will. Now I'll just get Di to show you the cucumbers and also how congested I am in this little greenhouse with all the overwintered stock. Mostly everything you see that's flowering is what we've overwintered, except for a few tomato plants and of course the cucumbers. The cucumbers are coming on now. I've actually started to tie them to the mesh and they're just starting to cling on themselves now. They won't be long before there's a cucumber on there. These are some of the big fuchsias we overwintered. As you can see, we're going to have to find some more room somewhere to put them. We'll pop down the garden now and we'll show you the potato plot all planted up, and then we'll go in the shed and we'll see if we can get some seed in. Okay? All the potatoes have all been planted now. First and second earlies and main crop all in. I'm so pleased we stayed late last night and got that done and finished it again this morning. Now when the potatoes break the surface, if there's still likely of a frost, just earth them up, cover all the foliage while the frost is there, and then it won't kill the top of the plant off. They will take a little bit of frost on the top of the leaves and still grow through it, but it's best to cover them up if you can. The other thing we need to do, I'm using the old 4-prong rake because the ground is still a bit hard, but when it gets a bit softer I should use the longer rake and loosen the soil between the rows, ready for ridging up. As you can see, you're not doing much at the moment, it's far too hard, so leave it till the weather breaks this weekend hopefully. Now even if you've got very light land, you've still got to ridge up, because if the potatoes get near the surface and the light gets to them, they will turn green and then you've got to discard them. So that little bit of ridging up, and it also keeps the weeds down as well. And if you're going to ridge up, put some fertiliser between the rows and then ridge that up, and it gives them another dose of fertiliser. Once the weather breaks and you've loosened this soil, then it'll be easier to ridge up, because the second earlies and the main crop will want ridging. And hopefully no blight. We'll have a good crop of potatoes this year. Now the potatoes are in, and now in this area where we are, I like to put all the seed we've got left now needs to be put in for the final seeding. So let's nip in the shed and we'll have a look at them. Out the sun, there is a little bit of wind out there. It's quite chilly when you get right down the bottom. Now I'll just show you what I'm going to put in this week, which is everything, as I said before, it's everything I've got I need to put in now, so we can have one last run, then we can start planting up. Now these jars of beans and peas are what Diane did and dried last year when I was laid up with my knee operation. They are a few borlotti beans, quite a few borlotti beans, some French beans, Cobra I think, yes they're Cobra, and these are alderman peas. We will plant the beans and the peas into these books so that they'll root down a lot better for us, and they'll stay in there longer while I get the land ready to put them straight out. Now with a few pumpkins that we want to put in near the squash frame. The squash seed we put in last week, if you can remember. Those are what we bought, and these were, I think the granddaughters sent those. Some courgettes, the yellow ones now. We don't seem to grow the green ones no more, we seem to want the yellows. There's a few French climbing purple beans there. The lettuce, I'll be putting lettuce seed in every 10 days now for the season. Gemma sent these dwarf French beans, polka they're called, they're yellow, so we'll have to grow those. These are the sugar snap peas that we actually purchased this time, you know ours, because we get all ours from Browns. And then again from Gemma there's some beetroot there, I can't see it upside down, Chicogia, and loads of flower seeds from the granddaughters mainly, but they know I like marigolds, so as you can see they're nearly all marigolds, but we'll put them in. Now this will be my little job for this afternoon, to put all these in. As you know, we're very short of room, so I might just try and put some in this shed on the sides until they start to germinate, then find room in the greenhouses to put them. I just want to show you quickly, I'm just going to pop these pumpkins in. You only get 10 seed, but what I'm trying to show you is that you plant them on their edge like that. I'll leave them exposed and then you'll see what I mean, and then we'll cover them up afterwards. They seem to germinate better when they're on their edge. We'll put them all in. These should make nice pumpkins for Halloween. It seems an awful long way off at the moment. As you can see, the compost is quite dry, that's fine. We'll just put some compost on top, and then I shall put them in a soak tray till the water fills up and this darkens off. Right, we'll just put some of this fine compost on the top, so those seeds can, when they put the leaves out, they'll be able to lift up. Looks a bit dry, but it'll be fine. It's very gritty compost what I'm putting on top, so there's no restriction to them lifting. And I think that will do. We'll just press them. We'll put them in the soak tray now and bottom soak them until the water comes up. Then we'll take them down to the greenhouse or in the shed here. Wherever you put them, try to avoid direct sunlight. The bottom greenhouse at the moment has got a fleece over it to stop the direct sun onto the young plants. These are the yellow courgettes, and they're planted the same on the sides. Let's do exactly the same and soak them till the water gets to the top. Then that won't get watered again until they germinate. I think you'll find if you do the same with your pea seed, because what I've found in years past, that a lot of the seed of the peas will rot in the pot before it germinates. But if you just water it the once and let it get on with it, because there'll be enough moisture in the pot for it to germinate and take that moisture. If you keep putting water on the pea seed, it does tend to rot the peas. So that'll be that. We'll just top it up with some of this gritty compost, press them in a bit to make good contact, and then we'll get them soaked. That'll do fine. Put the label in. Those 6 pots will give us plenty of courgettes than what we'll ever want this year. That'll be it for this week. I've got loads and loads of seeds to put in, and I shall have to fill my soak tray up ready and get things moving, and we'll get all these in. Then we'll be busy potting them all up and planting them out. So that's it for this week. I've had a nice day with you, and we've got quite a bit of work done out there. I'm so pleased to get my potatoes in. I know that is the beginning of the season, to get the potatoes in, get the rest of the seed in, then we can get out and get planting. So thank you for being with us while we did it. Remember everyone, stay in, stay safe. We want you here with us when we lift those potatoes. So thank you for watching. Many thanks for subscribing. We do appreciate it. And hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye now.